Hello everybody, welcome to my first Magic the Gathering video. Today I want to be presenting Nemata, Primeval Warden, and I'm going to be going over basically all the cards in my deck. I'm going to try to be quick. I just want to give you a number for what works for me, and some of the cards I'm picking, a couple of them are jank, but most all of them are quite good. So who's the commander? Nemata, Primeval Warden. He's a 3/4 with reach. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile instead. When you do, create a 1/1 green Saproling creature token. He also has two little Sac Outlets built into him. So he's got pay a green and sack a sapling to give Nemata +2/+2 till end of turn. And you can pay a black and colorless, sack 2 Saprolings, and you can draw a card. He's a 3/4. I actually started playing him because he has reach. This used to be a Slimefoot deck, like a fungus tribal. And one of the other players kept hitting me with a Tarka, double strike flying haste, and just kept killing me in 2 turns. So he was in the deck. He was the only creature I had with reach. So I kept using him as the commander, and every time I used him, I realized how many Saprolings I was making just incidentally. The deck wasn't even designed to generate Saprolings that much, and yet still every time he was out, I found myself in such a good position. So he's the commander now. The whole deck is built around trying to destroy enemies' creatures to generate my own, and you can't always do that. So we have lots of ways to generate Saprolings without anyone else's help either. So let's go over the creature killers. So I have written down here, I have 16 creature killers. We'll start with edicts. A great way to get people's stuff killed is for them to just sacrifice it for you. So here's Innocent Blood, 1 mana sorcery. Each player sacrifices a creature. Vona's Hunger, instant ascend, make the enemy sacrifice a ton of creatures. If you're playing against like token decks, this card is a house. It is nuts. And it's also so easy to get to that ascent, especially when you're playing a token deck yourself. Dictate of Erebos is in here. Merciless Executioner, because I like that art better than Fleshbag Marauder. We got Shieldred's Edict in here. Just a little bit of flexibility. And Deadly Brew. Fantastic edicts all around, if you ask me. Let's move on to single target removal. I only have 4 here. Tragic Slip. This is kind of an aristocrat's deck, so it's really easy to get that -13/-13. Death Sprout. Get rid of a creature, make a Saproling, and go get a land. That's pretty good. Putrefy. Just a 3-mana Golgari Instinct to destroy something. This really could be replaced by Beast Within. But I like the art more, honestly. So, and Assassin's Trophy is in here as well. Okay. But yeah, so obviously it's just good to have a little bit of removal. It's fantastic that it generates you a Saproling on top of that. But how are we going to make a ton of Saprolings? Each of those will get you, for example, each edict will get you 3 Saprolings. You'll sacrifice 1 Saproling. Everybody else will sacrifice a creature. You'll end the turn. You'll resolve that spell with 3 Saprolings. So let's think a little bigger here. In Garruk's Wake, destroy all creatures you don't control and all planeswalkers you don't control. Whole board gone, except for your stuff. Super expensive board wipe, 9 mana, but yeah, that'll just end the game. If it resolves, everybody else will be set so far back. You'll have so many Saprolings, but one-sided board wipes are good. But even regular board wipes are quite good. Decree of Pain. Destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated. Draw a card for each creature destroyed this way. You still draw the card, even though Nemata will trigger and creatures will get exiled. Decree of Pain will still draw you the cards. I had to post I had to put a post on Reddit to clarify that. Ask around, and yes, Decree of Pain still draws the cards. Toxic Deluge. Just an all-around great board wipe. Culling Ritual, an awesome board wipe. It'll get your Saprolings killed, but they'll turn them into mana. Another Token Hoser, Golgari Charm. It's kind of hard to categorize this because it has 3 different modes, but all creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn. That's going to generate you a lot. Destroying a target enchantment, great flexibility, and regenerate each creature you control. Fantastic. We love that. A little bit of board protection. Anyway, Golgari Charm, fantastic. The jankiest board wipe, but also my absolute favorite, is Plague Boiler. It is a 3-mana artifact that has, at the beginning of your upkeep, put a plague counter on it. You can pay Golgarian 1 to put or remove a plague counter from it. And once it has 3 counters on it, you have to sacrifice it and destroy all non-land permanents. I always say this card makes me feel like the Joker. I love this card. I never see this card. I love the art. I love the kind of impending doom for everybody, but you can also manipulate it so easily because since you can add or remove the counters at instant speed, you're always going to be able to manipulate this thing because you can untap first, and then before your upkeep trigger, you can add or remove a counter. It is really easy actually to hold this off if you just want to have it as like a little threat on the table. Anyway, I love this board wipe. Just funny. Just a funny board wipe, you know. Okay, so that's it for destroying other people's stuff. Let's get on to generating Saprolings. So let's get into the fungus. So all the fungus are going to be generating us Saprolings, and some of them have incredible free Sac Outlets on them. Some of the Sac Outlets, sometimes they don't have one, or sometimes they're not so great. We have 7 fungi in the deck here. The absolute MVP is Utopia Mycon, who will be generating us Saprolings, and we can sack the Saprolings to it for mana. Part of what makes this card so insane is it's only 1 green. That's it. A lot of value for 1 mana there. Despore Thalid, very similar, 2 mana, making us Saprolings, and sack Saproling to basically destroy a creature. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. So removal on a stick. Psychotrope Thalid, 3 mana. You can pay 1 and sack a Saproling to draw a card, which is really good if you compare that to Nemata's pay a black and a colorless and 2 Saprolings to draw a card. This one is half the price, basically. Thalid, another 1-drop. It just makes Saprolings, but still 1 mana. If you can drop that at the beginning of the game, fantastic. Thalid Germinator, who's decent. I mostly just like the art. But he's also got a sack outline on him, which is good. Spore Sower Thalid is going to put a spore counter on each fungus we control. So if we have any of these other guys out, that's great. It's not super likely to happen, but when it does, cool. And Mycoloth, he's just, this man will win you the game. If you can stick him, like, game's done. He has Devoured too, so you're gonna play him, sack as many Saprolings as you can to him, and he will be generating Saprolings like crazy, as well as just being a menace on his own. So those are the fungus in the deck, the fungi. Let's get into just other things that generate Saprolings. Verdant Force, every turn making something. Verdant Embrace, every turn you're making something. Tendershoot Dryad, every turn you're making something, and you buff the fucking tokens, which is crazy. Jade Mage, Jade Mage is alright. 3 mana for a Saproling isn't a great trade-off, but if you can drop it on turn 2, then pay 3 mana the next turn for a Saproling, and then you can bring out Nemata on turn 4. So it just helps smooth things out and can get you a Saproling in a pinch. Spore Swarm, make 3. Scatter the Seeds, make 3. It has Convoke. Saproling Symbiosis. Just create a ton of Saprolings, hopefully. It's just a great way to jumpstart your Saproling engine. And I almost never pay the flash cost on it. Fist of Iron. Give Nemata Trample and make 2 Saprolings. See, that's a good rate. That's a great rate. Saproling Migration, another great rate. 2 mana to make 2 Saprolings. It has a kicker cost, which I hate because 2 mana for 2 Saprolings is fantastic. 6 mana for 4 Saprolings it does not feel good. Fungal Sprouting. Make a bunch of Saprolings based on someone's power. So what I've done plenty of times is pumped Nemata up with his +2, and then cast the Fungal Sprouting. And Spontaneous Generation. A little janky, but still a fun card. This deck tends to draw a lot of cards. So 4 mana. How many Saplings do you want? I would say at least 3, and that's pretty easy to accomplish. But the best case scenario is we draw a ton of cards with some other payoffs in the deck, and then we can cast that and make our board even crazier. So that's all the Saproling generation. I counted 27 ways to make Saprolings, and that includes all the killing spells. So let's talk about how we're going to use those bad boys to win the game. Aristocrats. we only have 4 in the deck, but I'm telling you, you only need 1. So there's 4 Aristocrats in here. Poison Tip Archer, nuts. A 2/3 with Reach and Death Touch. I love this card. It's probably my favorite Aristocrat. It would be if we didn't have Slimefoot the Stowaway in here, the original commander of this deck. Whenever a Saproling specifically I control dies, he will drain everybody for 1. This deck also incidentally gains a lot of life, and Slimefoot's one of the reasons for that. The 4 mana make 1 Saproling. Almost never use it. He does have an infinite combo in here, using Ash Nods and Illusionist Bracers, but I've only ever pulled that off 1 time. Still silly that it can happen. Mirkwood Bats. Whenever you create or sack a token, each opponent loses a life. So that's just bonkers. We're making tons of tokens and we're sacking tons of tokens. So that fits right in. And Zulaport Cutthroat, because I like it better than Blood Artist. All right, so those are the 4 Aristocrats in the deck. Some other payoffs we have. We got Death Reap Ritual. At the beginning of each instep, if a creature dies this turn, you may draw a card. Just incidentally quite good, because usually your creature will die every turn. But if not, we have enough Sac Outlets that we can make sure we're drawing a card every turn. Fecundity is an absolute banger in this deck. I have drawn so many cards off of Fecundity. It's a symmetrical effect. Whenever a creature dies, that creature's controller may draw a card. Well, I promise you, nobody is going to be losing more creatures than you. And not just that, but it's whenever another creature dies. And opponent's creatures aren't dying. Your creatures are dying, but with Nemata's replacement effect, they are not dying. So they will be denied. And you, even if Nemata isn't out, you're still going to be sacrificing a lot more creatures than they are. And Mold Divine Reclamation. Whenever a creature you control dies, you gain a life and draw a card. So great payoffs. Absolutely fantastic payoffs. I got 2 more, actually. My only pump in the deck is Beastmaster Ascension. I just kind of like how it's more... it sticks better than just like a 1-turn overrun. You can surprise kill somebody with Beastmaster Ascension and still be a threat if the game isn't over. So love that card. And Gruesome Fate, just a game finisher. Each opponent loses a life for each creature you control. It is not hard to get well over 10 creatures. If you have 10 Saprolings right, you can hit for 10, drain for 10, and Gruesome Fate for 10. Not in that order. You'll Gruesome Fate first. But yeah, so it is a lot of damage that stacks up, and only for 3 mana, so love that as well. How are we going to get our guys killed? I'll tell you how. Free Sac Outlets, Fungal Plots. You can pay 2 to exile a creature card from your graveyard and make a Saproling. I've never used that. I think I've maybe used that once or twice ever. I'm always using it for sack 2 Saprolings to gain 2 and draw a card. That is crazy. That is so good. We're already it's what we really want is just to get the Saprolings killed. So to put more value on top of that with fungal plots, this card, every time I'm sacrificing using this card, I find myself saying, and I'm going to sacrifice 2 to fungal plots, so I'm going to gain 2, draw a card, but 2 creatures just died, so you're all going to take 1, and I'm going to draw 2 cards. Like, it is crazy. Phyrexian Altar. I have yet to play this card in the deck, but it's been in this deck for so long. This card has been in my deck for, I think, half a year, and I have yet to get to play it one time, which is kind of unbelievable. But what I have played is Ashnod's Altar. Just another mana, sacrifice a creature. This goes infinite with Illusionist Bracers and Slimefoot, but it's also just good, period. So it's not in there for the infinite. It should also be worth noting that almost all the fungi have Sac Outlets as well. So just more ways to eat Saprolings, right? All right, those are all the important cards. We also got some good cards in here. I'm just gonna blow through. They just help smoothen the bad boy out. Sylvan Library, a gift from a friend. So hey, shout out to Richard. Thanks for the Sylvan Library. Look at that. Just an incredible card. I don't really need to say anything about it. You probably already heard everything about it. Heroic in fact, all the cards I'm gonna put in this pile are just good, period. Heroic Intervention, board protection. Skull Clamp, tokens equal card draw. Rapid Vigor, more board protection. Illusionist Bracers. We have a lot of creatures with activated abilities. Nemata, he has some right on him. And almost all the fungi that can remove counters are going to be doing the same thing. Song of Frailes, just kind of the nuts card. Potentially a game ender. Growing Rights of Itlamok, this one, Saproling art, we love it. Jahira, Friend of the Forest. Essence Warden, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, gain a life. Yep. There's gonna be a lot of creatures entering the battlefield. And Evolutionary Leap, because there's not a ton of creatures in the deck, so being able to sacrifice a Saproling to basically draw a creature card is great value. So anyway, those are all just like generally good cards. Here, let's move on to the jank. These are my 4 jank cards that are just here because I like them. Blessing of Leeches. Can play it as if it were an instant, so flash. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose life, and you can regenerate the enchanted creature for free. I just like to play it on Nemata. Just a little more insurance for the commander, who is incredibly important to keep around. In fact, it's one of the only protection. It's the only single target protection piece I think I have. Spore Mound. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, make a Saproling token. For 5 mana, that's pretty bad. But you know what it's good with is Life and Limb. Goes infinite right away. All forest and all Saprolings are Saproling creatures, and forest lands, which are their other types. So Life and Limb is okay on its own because it turns all of our Saprolings into mana again. It also makes our lands able to die in a board wipe, which is terrible. But yeah, with Spore Mound, you might already know the combo that they just bounce off each other. They'll draw the game out. But we have enough removal in the deck and sacrifice outlets in the deck that we can make a near infinite amount of Saprolings and then turn it off by killing the Spore Mound with a free sack outlet. So it is actually pretty easy to turn that off. So basically just a win, you know. And the silliest card in the deck, the one that I think about removing every day, but I can't do it because it's too funny, is a Crowan Horse. 0/4 defender. When there's a battlefield, choose an opponent, they control it. At the beginning of that opponent's upkeep, each opponent makes a 1/1 white soldier creature token onto the battlefield. this is in here because I can't run greener pastures in good conscience because it's too bad. But a crone horse gets the same thing done. We want to give people creatures because we want to get them killed so we can make Saprolings. So it does give us a 1/1 soldier, which is okay, not really on theme. It is just really funny to give everybody lots of creatures just so you can kill them and steal them, basically, right? So, funny card, super janky. That's it. That's the whole deck. I think I was a little too wordy. Shout out to Richard again for giving me. I have 2 of these foil Saproling tokens that are based on the old like time spiral art. So, love these tokens. And also, I forgot to mention the Illusionist Bracers from Levi. Shout out to Levi. That's it for the video. That's everything I gotta say about the deck. The deck runs super fun. I've never had anyone get mad at me for playing this deck. So even though it has edicts, it's still, from what I can tell, it's still an enjoyable commander to play against. Especially since he himself is unpopular. I've never seen anybody else run this commander. I don't think there's a lot of videos on it online. Hopefully I helped you build it. Anyway, let me know what cards you think should go in this deck. But yeah, just let me know what cards you think I missed. Let me know what cards you think I should really take out. I know there's a few in here. But anyway, thanks for watching. And have fun. Sacking. Oh, almost forgot to mention my sister made me clay Saprolings. It is so nice of her. Amazing. She absolutely understood the prompt. They rock so hard. This one has a hard time standing, but this one doesn't. They look like the slime foot goobers. And shout out to all the homies that play Magic with me. And thanks for watching the video again, guys. I appreciate it. You guys have a good one.